Kultcha. Yeah, what up, it's your boy Alley Cat.
What up, twin?
You are now watching the Kultcha.
One and only. Ready?
Yeah, what up, it's your boy Alley Cat.
Yo, it's the infamous twin.
And you are now watching the Kultcha.
Traveling. He don't like that. But let's get to it, right?
Yeah, today's topic is autism.
Very important topic today, y'all.
We have an autism mom here. Her name is DeAndra Perry.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you
That's
guys?
good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
So you know how we do and how we do when we do it. This is how we're going to do it today. We're going to define autism. So I'm going to break it down to you, you know what I mean? Let me go into my little mental Rolodex, a.k.a. the
Ain't nothing wrong with
Autism.
that when we tell y'all, go into it. You don't want to sound crazy.
You know what I mean? We're going to get it right. We don't want to say nothing wrong. Autism is a developmental disorder of variable severity that is characterized by difficulty in social interaction and communication and by restricted or repetitive patterns of thought and behavior.
Now, for the simplistic people like me, autism means auto, right? It's a Greek word, right? And it means to be in oneself head. That's what it means. Now, when we look at the history of autism, it started somewhere around 1922.
Yes.
Right? Before the word autism came into existence, they used to call them schizophrenic or schizophrenia. That's what they used to call them before autism came into existence. Now that we're talking about autism, let me just give you a brief background. It was in the DSM-3. It's now located in the DSM-5 because they sophisticated it from 3 to 5, just to let y'all know that.
Also,
yeah.
they say it's escape from reality.
Oh, no, it is. It is. Actually, the few people that actually did the research at the beginning, somewhere in the 1970s, said it was an escape from reality. They used to call them crazy, and they actually used to place them into the crazy house.
Or
so that was a
some
good
call
thing.
them retards.
I mean,
They didn't understand.
I try to refrain from that word.
Yeah, but we have to use
Right,
this.
no retards.
But we have to use
Yeah.
this because we have to give them the reality.
Oh,
of what's going on in the
no,
world
absolutely.
today.
That's what they used to call them back then.
People
Yeah.
fear what they don't understand.
No, that's
and
so.
since we are not parents, or I'm not a parent of an autistic child, and he's not a parent at all, because he says it all the time every episode. But, you know, that's another story.
Stick with that.
We have Miss Perry here to discuss and explain and elaborate on things that we do not understand or we would not understand, even that, you know, quiet is kept. This is my family. And I'm glad that she took time out to be here with us and speak upon the topic. So let's go. So I know you're smiling. I know you're a little nervous, but I'm glad that you're here.
Yes, I'm glad you're here too.
You do autism walks.
Yes.
You do things in the community. You had the park. You put a sign up for autism children so other children can understand. So let's just, we want to dive into it and let's talk. Let's give us a brief history of yourself and how you had, you had Cam's World, and and what the lifestyle is about. Because believe it or not, it is a lifestyle.
Yes,
and
every day.
anything that's a lifestyle is a culture, and it's becoming very. People are becoming very aware of autism. And the people that are not aware or don't understand, let's give them a little understanding. And for people that do understand and know, let's still enlighten some more.
Okay.
So, let's go.
So, my name is DeAndra Perry. I'm from Jamaica, Queens. I'm 30 years old. My son's name is Cameron. He's 9 years old. So he was diagnosed when he was 2.5. He wasn't verbal. Well, he was saying like a few baby words in the beginning. And then the communication just shut down. So after that, everyone in my family was telling me, like, you need to take him to get him, checked out just to see like if something was wrong, because he wasn't responding to anything. You could scream his name and he wouldn't really hear you.
Wow.
So, after going to a couple of doctor appointments, they told me that Cameron had autism, and I'm just like, autism? What is that? So when he was diagnosed, the doctor just went straight to it, like he's never going to talk, he's never going to play with other children, or interact with people at all, or play in a park, or just do the normal things that kids would do.
Wow.
So when that happened, my whole world was shut down, like completely.
And the doctor actually said he would never?
Never.
Because usually they can improve as, years go by.
Right.
And he's saying that he would never.
And everyone is different, like
Yeah, it is.
everyone progress in their own way. But
They
she
have
just gave
spectrums.
me the,
Yes.
she just assumed like nothing's ever gonna happen. So, I went through a little depressing stage around that time because I couldn't understand it. I had to learn it. I had to learn my son. I had to adjust to the world. I had to look at everything differently, you know what I mean? And you know, I actually look at the world differently now in so many different ways because of him. I observe every little thing. I have to think for two people because of his lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And in the beginning, I had to avoid going to birthday parties. You know, people would ask me, why aren't you here? Or, you know, you didn't bring your son. Because I didn't know how to really express myself. Like, something is wrong with my son, you know? I didn't want people to say the wrong thing because I would get, you know, upset.
Right.
I didn't want to even put myself in that situation. So I felt like, let me just do things with my son, but just me and him together or with people that I trust, you know? Because I felt like if I would just throw myself around these other people, I wouldn't be able to handle like the staring and, you know, like the point or even kids like being mean or anything. So I just felt like I'm not going to deal with that. But I started getting used to it, you know, and I had a big support system. So it got me to where I needed to be, thank God, very early. And once I like hosted my first brunch for the first time, I felt like, okay, if you want to meet other moms or even dads, you know, you got to throw yourself out there. So I hosted my first brunch, my Autism Mind brunch, and I met so many moms. And now like I'm more open to like, you know, talking about autism. So after doing that, like I really came out about autism because before I never used to talk about it. But now I'm like out there, as you can see now.
So, I mean, the transition, it was rough at the beginning.
Yes, very rough, like very rough. And I couldn't understand his sensory issues or, you know, just none of that. I didn't know why he would run into a street or I didn't understand none of that.
Wow, because normally it do starts at a young age. This when they say this is the best time to get that diagnosis for the kids, and
Right,
maybe
some
so they
people
can try
don't
to improve.
even like do that, you know, they just feel like, oh, my child's okay, but they're really suffering. You know, the longer you wait, that's not giving your child enough time to like get help, you know, so
Yes.
they can process,
Well-
progress when they get older.
Well, within research, they say there's 3 types of autism. I was reading it here. The 3 most common forms of autism in pre-2013 classification system were autistic disorder or classic autism. Wow, this name is kind of crazy here. Asperger's syndrome.
Asperger's, yeah,
Asperger's
Asperger's
syndrome.
Actually, Asperger is very popular. He came out
It
in
is.
1977, around that time, and actually there's 2 of them. There's Asperger and Canna.
Yeah.
Canna is really known for the autism part, but there's really
And
5,
no, it's per
but there's
basic
3 main ones.
developmental disorder.
Right.
Not otherwise specified PDD /
Yeah, PDD.
MS.
Cameron has.
These 3 disorders share many of the same symptoms, but they differ in their severity and impact.
See, Asperger is more of a more intelligent type of autism. They have very high IQs. They're very smart in math. As far as their cognitive ability is there. A person who's not suffering from Asperger or autism is just have autism and tend to not have that cognitive function.
That's not
So,
true.
huh?
It's not true.
It's not true?
See,
No.
so
Okay.
now that's good that we say that
Yeah.
because, you know, when we read and study, you live it.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it makes it better.
That's
for
the
us to
thing
have
though,
it.
you can read about it, but honestly, every person with autism is really different. You know, you never know what they're gonna do. It's like something new every day. My son, very smart in math, and he has PDD.
And they said he would never,
Even talk.
yes.
He does his own math homework. He remembers numbers, dates, like he's like a little math machine. You know
But
what I mean?
he don't have the eye contact. He
Oh,
don't-
yes, he does.
Oh, yes, he
Yeah,
does.
that's why I'm asking about the
reason why
cognitive
I'm
part.
saying because
Right.
I speak with him, and like I said, I'm fortunate and blessed that to have you on the show as my family member and all. And he remembers everybody's birthday.
Like I said, there's different spectrums, like she's saying.
Yes.
Right.
And if you know
It's
the
a whole
mother,
big
the
spectrum.
mother point over here and say that's bad, and his eyes don't follow the finger, stuff like that. If they don't have those abilities, right? They say they're not like Asperger. They more like just in the spectrum of autism. So, like she said, they haven't defined a lot of it though.
Right.
There's 3 that you read because there's only 5, and that's the 3 main one. So they try to put everybody in those categories.
And excuse me,
You know
I
what
just
I'm
got to
saying?
keep my notes.
I mean, it's all right. Yeah.
You know, sometimes
Yeah.
we got a lot going on in memory.
Yeah.
But so,
So let me ask you this, right? Is there any scary moments for you, you know, having a child with autism? Like, is there anything that woke you up out of your sleep, or because they intend to stare into nothing sometimes, or
Right.
do something awkward? Like,
Yeah.
how do you handle that as a parent?
my little campster. He gets into a lot. I don't know. I just handle it as I go on. Like it's like you can't plan it out. You just go with the flow. You understand? Because as I mentioned before, every week is something different. My son is doing something different. You know what I mean? But scary moments, I'm going to be honest, sometimes I used to think like, is he in the kitchen? You know, is he playing with fire? You know, because sometimes they'll just get up, they'll wander off and do these things that's
not to cut you off, but then you was telling me a story before that the scariest moment you had was when y'all went to Central Park.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that, but I was talking about like if I'm sleeping.
Wow.
You know, right. So, well, let me get to the big part. My scariest moment was when we were all in Central Park. Me and my sister and my nieces and nephews. You know, we're just all walking down the street, and Cameron, this was his first time actually really interacting with his cousins and on a scooter and running. So he's running. And all the kids are running, but Cameron got so happy that he ran off into the street. So he ran into the street, and thank God, like, you know, the cars were already at the stop sign.
Definitely.
So my heart literally dropped. You understand? Because I didn't understand at that moment that my son was a runner. A lot of kids with autism, or even adults, are runners. You know what I mean? So if you ever see a kid or even an adult running and they're just running into the street or anything, they're not being bad, you know, they're not stupid. Like sometimes they're just mentally different. You understand what I'm saying? And my son doesn't understand danger. And that day he ran into that street and I was so scared. And I was so thankful that those cars were already at the light and the stop sign. And they didn't even say anything slick. You know, they understood from him flapping his hands in the street like something was wrong, because that's, you know, a lot of people with autism, they flap their hands. This is a way of expressing yourself. Either you're happy, sad, you know what I mean? So when he did that, you know, everyone just saw and they were just like, you know, just stop, wait, and let her get her son. But that moment right there, I knew like, whoa, like this is scary. And from there, I had to hold his hand everywhere we went. So I would never send him with anybody because I felt like nobody understood that they had to hold my son's hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
or
that
keep
was
a close watch.
Right. But still hold his hand at that moment. Like when he was really young. Now it's different. But when he was young, you had to hold his hand.
Well, I think because even children that, like you said, you have average children that are just runners.
That will do that.
Yeah,
right.
just runners.
But guess what? You can teach them. You know, look across the street, or, you know, you have to watch the cars. It was hard. My son is just now getting it. He's 9.
Yes.
He's still struggling to understand, like, I can't run across that street because if I get hit by a car, I will die or, you know, get hurt. So.
No, I mean, yeah, it's rough.
You know what makes it crazy is because in the late 80s, early 90s, they just started implementing classes for them to attend school. Because before then, you know, kids with autism wasn't even allowed to attend schools.
Right.
You know,
Wow.
so they just started to say they got a great program for the kids where they work on their cognitive abilities on a daily basis so they can learn across the street.
Where are these programs?
Yeah, but they don't have it in enough areas. So.
No, they
Or
don't,
you
of
say
course.
In the urban community.
Right.
Of course.
Or let's
Of
just
course.
say, be honest, the
Because a lot of families are still suffering. And
Yeah,
looking
because
for programs
one out of every one, you know, 150
It was one
out of every
59.
out of 59 kid that's born with autism.
Yeah.
So we do need more of them in the school. That is correct. You know, I wish we would have more in the school. But
Well,
don't-
it's the communities, because you know the communities and you know the how would you say the taxes you pay.
even they have older men and women that have autism that lived their whole life with it,
Yes.
don't even like to be classified as a disability because they said we got tons of abilities. You
But,
know?
but now it's
a disorder.
considered to be special needs.
Right.
Okay, I like that.
Special
Yeah, I like
needs.
that. Yeah, I like that.
People with special needs. Is that a better way to say it?
And they also don't like when you say that they're autistic. Remember? So we got to say people with autism.
People with
Okay.
autism.
But
All right.
some families are okay with that. But some of them, they're just like, no, because you're like labeling the kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think in society we tend to label everything we do.
Right. That's true.
Growing up, there was a kid in our neighborhood. We labeled him. We tend to label, no matter how, who, what, where, and why. We tend to label. Like I said, I was growing up. One stage of my life, I had lived in the Bronx. We played with a kid. He had special needs. We used to call him a retard. you know, oh, he's retarded, but you couldn't mess with him, and I don't want to put his name out there, the definition of character or whatever,
generalize.
you know, or generalize him. We used to play, and he used to always play and want to play with us and be excited. Same thing Cam does, and you know, and then we used to be like, oh, chill out. But our parents, you know, they were so busy doing what they had to do to make sure we was okay. So nobody really explained it to us. So now that all these awarenesses, we need to take time out and explain to our children, you know, because regardless, at the end of the day, people are not gonna like what we say, but we're gonna always be labeled, no matter what.
It's true.
You know, like we have a joke on our show. He's pro-black, I'm just black. I say that because people label and they say, okay, well, he's militant and blackness. And then I say, well, you know what? I'm the ignorant side.
I think it's more different and
No,
more sensitive for.
It's you know, you're not wrong, but I just want to give a breakdown of labels because, you know, we get upset about things in society of saying, and I'm not going off topic. I just want to keep the labels topics. You know, so you know, a white person can't call you a nigga,
right?
But a nigga is not really a color. It's a person of ignorance to me. You know, but you know we have labels, and I know how it's more sensitive due to the severity of the situation, and you know I know I've been, how can you say, fortunate and blessed to experience, you know, being around and understanding that, you know, it's like, I guess you might question yourself, what did I do to deserve this? Why is my child this and that, in that nature? So yes, it's definitely a sensitive topic. My thing is that I don't want nobody to get caught in labels.
But
you know,
you can't say that.
No, I can't. That's why I said we can't say, but we can't say that for anybody.
Right.
You know, so I know it's so sensitive, and you know, and that's why we want to put light and awareness to this topic, because, you know, if I didn't know you, I wouldn't know what you've been through. But
right.
I've been blessed to understand and know what you go through, and I know the sensitivity, and I know, okay, yo, watch your fucking mouth. You, say, you get what I'm saying? And I know the trust factors, because, you know, we have family functions and pool parties, and you've left Cam with me, and that's the highest form of trust.
Yes.
So I know the sensitivity, and I don't want to shun it, and I want you to give the awareness. You know, like the playgrounds, like they have these bouncy houses, and a child with autism, they might come to this bouncy house and they need to have a puzzle or whatever the symbol is to say that this kid is okay to be here.
Right.
And because they're not really, they shed in a light, but a lot of people don't really give it enough light, and we need to really hit it. It ain't about, you know, oh yeah, let me just do this, let me do that, and it's every day.
Right.
It's not just a month.
You know, it's funny you say that, because this is what actually makes a lot of us depressed, the parents. We have to wait for, like, okay, let's give an example, like Sesame Place. Oh, 1 year, one time out of the year, we can all go to Sesame Place and enjoy the park, you know, with our children. So we gotta wait this one time just to take our kid. You understand what I'm saying? And it's all about us, but we need more than that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, these kids wanna get out, and adults, they wanna do stuff, they wanna be free, they're human too. Why do we have to wait that one time just for us to come out? You know, just for acceptance. To me, that's hurtful, because it's like, our kids don't matter. Like, they're not human. That's how I look at it.
But shouldn't we just take them out regardless?
I take my son out regardless.
Right.
I take him out.
Whether
There's
they
no
have
limits
one
over
time
here.
a year or whatever they want to give, shouldn't we just take them out regardless?
But you have to also remember, there's, you know, everybody's on a different level. Some people can't handle big crowds.
That's true.
You know, like,
Some
it's too much. Yeah, the
sound,
like,
yeah,
everything
definitely.
is just, it's too much. It's triple of what we're hearing or seeing. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, we have to cater to their needs. But I feel like it should be more than that one time out of the year. You know what I mean?
So you're hearing it here first. I mean, please incorporate more programs, more, you know, gathering for the kids, especially while they're young. I can't emphasize that enough.
And there should be programs for adults so that they can be independent.
Well, you know, they have said that some studies shown that let me say this correctly, special needs children became adults because we all become adults,
Right.
and they actually
They're independent.
some have function in society.
No, of course. I'm
Some, a lot of them.
No, I'm
Yeah, and then tell it what it is. I mean,
No, he's right. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying it for the people who can't. And,
Right,
and
definitely.
for the people who their
Yeah.
parents didn't get them help when they needed
Yeah.
it. You understand? Like they should still have programs for the children and for the adults so they can really survive in this world. It's a lot for them, you know, adjusting to this because they're living in their world.
So knowing that, knowing that these questions, you know, within
questions.
society, no questions like it should be more and we should do more. I know that you're working on things.
Right, that I
What-
won't mention.
No, but what would you say? Because you know, I think your biggest fear is you all he has. What I
That
mean by
is-
that, you know, I'm his mother. I carried him 9 months. This is my cub. You know, I'm all he has. So, what are the things that you would say to put in place, or just tell another parent, like, listen, this is the things that need to be in place and be prepared because we don't live forever. I have a 2-year-old daughter.
I know.
And when I watched her come out, you know, I said, let me lose weight. Let me get in shape.
So I can be healthy.
So I can be healthy and live as long as I can. Because I know I can't live forever, but I want to for her. And I have a son. And it was a little different because I'm tougher on the boys, but
But you will
know,
still live for both of
I
your
want to
children.
live for both of my children.
That's right.
True indeed. My life is for my children. That's why you should always, how they say, you stop living for yourself once you have children.
That's right.
So what are the things that you would say that you would put in order, or just say that things to work on in the programs that you think should be implemented in society for not just your child, for other people's children, and for parents that may have a child that's growing and, you know, say, okay, now we found out my child has autism, and they start going into a depression. What would you say to them? And you know, and I'm asking you so many questions at once, and I'm
trying to soak it all in.
So what would you say the steps to say, because you can't live forever?
So my first thing is that's actually one of our biggest fears as autism parents. You feel like if I die, who's gonna love my kid the way that I love my kid? Who's gonna protect them the way that I protect them? Who's gonna, you know, just take care of them the way they need to be taken care of? Like, you feel like someone's gonna hurt them or take advantage of them, or they're not gonna be able to survive in this world. You think of the craziest things, okay? So that's my biggest fear. I actually have anxiety every single day because of that. Every single day. He can be in school and I'm just like, is he okay? But he's verbal, but I'm still like, you know, he's just so happy, he's in his own world, and I'm still worrying. I worry every single day. If I don't show it, it still doesn't matter. It's something that I'm like deeply going through, you know? So to answer the other question, I can't really tell the next parent how to plan it. There's really no planning, but because we're all different, we all handle our situation differently. You know, we got different situations because everybody's not the same. I have a support system. Some people don't have a support system. I would say, if you know someone who has a child with autism, you should support them. Like just a text, a call, just reaching out would really make a difference. You know, or just being there for them in any kind of way. Just knowing that you have somebody there for you is just so important to me, but somebody that you can trust, of course, around your kid. That's really important. For me, I'm working on many different goals, and I'm trying to be healthy. You know I'm greedy. But my son's greedy too, but you know, I'm working on, I have a 9-to-5, but I'm working on like 7 different goals on the side that I will make happen, that will make a change in this world.
Yes.
Not just for my son, but for other families as well.
Definitely.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's pressure on me every day with those goals, plus working, plus trying to be a mom to my son. You know what I mean? But I feel like these goals are necessary because it's gonna help my son in the future, and it's gonna help other kids and other adults in the future. They need this. I feel like the world isn't doing it. It's the parents that are working hard to make this happen. Because I guess because no one's walking in our shoes, they don't really understand. You're just reading about it. But I feel like, you know, I gotta make these things happen. I'm hard on myself every week, just to make sure that if I leave this earth, Cameron is going to be straight, but the rest is like whether he has support or not.
So,
But I know that my family is going to support him.
so every day
I'm
we
like,
prepare. You're preparing every day.
single day. I could be crying my eyes out. Okay, my son can have a meltdown. I can get fired from a job. I'm still planning. I'm still working. Like I have so many things that I'm working on because I feel like my son has to be straight when I leave this earth.
Wow, because if parents just did that with regular kids, a lot of kids would be well off.
Right.
If they just preparing them, just doing what you're doing. But
Planning preparation beats poor performance.
I don't, every time, Al, every time. Let's get into the conspiracies, right?
The conspiracy
Let's
theories.
talk about the genetics, because they always say, you know, a child suffering from autism is genetic. What do you think about that? Because they had some tests with some twins. I'm a twin myself, y'all. That's why my name is Twin.
Twin.
And they say it's a 36% chance if one twin got it, the other one going to get it because of the genetics. What do you think about it? Majority of the time they say that it comes down from the father a lot. So what do you feel about that?
Honestly, I'm not a doctor.
Okay, that's what I said, it's conspiracy. Like, how you feel about it, right?
And, you know, this topic is actually really touchy.
Okay.
For a lot of families, and it gets a little crazy because everyone feels like they either know or they just feel like
Or they want to blame.
right.
Yeah, because
I
D.L.
don't.
It's not in my family. It's in your family, or this.
Because D.L. Hughley and his son said, "Dad, I thought you always hated me or didn't like me. You always had jokes on me." He almost broke down and said, "Nah, if it's anything, I felt like something was wrong with me from giving something to you."
I feel like it was
like
the
autism.
shots, to
Wow.
be honest, because look how these kids are just being born, you know, just daily, and they're just being diagnosed with autism right after these shots.
So which shots we talking about? The vaccines?
Yes,
Vaccinations.
but I don't want to get really
I
involved.
mean,
Well,
that's what I said.
you guys
It's
can
just
speak on it, but I
conspiracies.
don't-
Yeah, it's just
Well, the
conspiracies.
vaccinations are conspiracies, but
Because they talk about the mercury in the
Yeah.
vaccination.
And I actually, I have a family member. I forgot the vaccination shot. I think it was polio or something. I'll go back and research it, but he took the shot and then ended up having it.
And that's the weird thing because the doctor that actually came out with that and said that, you know, it's the mercury in the vaccines, he actually lost his license. Do you understand what I'm saying? But there is conflicting stories because there's the other story where mothers are actually saying my child was never acting this way until after that vaccine.
Well, when you break it down, they say, the studies say it, the number 3 killer in the United States of America is modern medicine. The doctor prescribing it to the patient. And a lot of us become guinea pigs. So they testing things on us. And believe it or not, that's what it really is. Because, you know, they
No,
just
I believe
cure
that
for
too.
the common cold. They say, hey, take this and you'll be okay.
Right,
But
for the
then,
money.
Then you take
Right.
this and then you get a side effect. And then, you know, you have kidney damage and liver damage. Prime example, and we're going to not go, I don't want to go too far off topic. But prime example, they, like you said, it's for the money, like cancer, you know, you go to radiation treatment. The doctor that recommended you, referred you to get that, he gets $5,000 every time he refers somebody to go get cancer treatment. So that's another topic, but it's conspiracy theories.
Right.
You don't have to do the vaccination.
No, that's
You don't-
that's
you know
a
that,
choice.
right?
But then
It is-
again,
Well, I've been
but then
hearing
again, they say your
now.
kid can't
Right,
go to
go to
school.
school. Right.
And then
So-
they say by law, you still can, you have to get the law paperwork or whatever it is. But say, I think somebody
Right,
did
because
it.
they actually fighting against it because they're saying if the 2 kids sitting next to my kid got vaccinated, why do my kid need to have
Right.
a vaccine?
Because
you understand what I'm saying?
they're-
Because those 2 kids
That's
next to them
going
are
on now.
vaccinated.
Right.
Right. So yeah.
There's a lot of things that, you know, we can go on and say conspiracy theories and this and that. But at the end of the day, we have to stand for something or we're for anything.
Any day.
So knowing this and knowing the challenges, it's always going to be an uphill battle, especially coming from the communities that we come from.
The ignorant.
Poor, low income, ignorance. And the reason why it's ignorant is because they just don't know. And when it comes to, let me give you something. Poor, low income, you do not have certain privileges. And some of us don't seek the privileges that we can.
Privileges for.
Poor and low income, stand to be corrected. You don't have certain privileges that when you have money or you come from money, they have. But we do have certain privileges now in society where we can, because we quick to pick up a phone. All of us got a phone. Obama took care and made sure everybody got a free phone. So you can get a smartphone and try to look for something and study and learn something and push that on your kids.
I feel
that's
like
what I'm saying.
It doesn't take money to teach your child just to be kind. It's always going to be someone that's going to be different from you, whether they have special needs or not. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't need a book to read about that. You can just really teach your child, starting from home, just to be kind to people who are different from you. But I do agree with what you're saying as well.
No, we're saying similar things. I just use finance.
Right.
I didn't use a moral compass.
Okay.
Morally, yes. Principles, yes.
I think that's the big problem
if you
now.
teach children to have mannerism,
Mm-hmm.
you should teach them to have mannerism to somebody that's different from you.
Mm-hmm.
Because believe it or not, we're all different.
We're all different.
In
None
the
of us
sense
are the same.
Complexion.
And
You wear glasses. I don't. You might nearsighted, farsighted. We all have
I
certain
mean,
Right.
both of y'all absolutely right. I mean, when you look at even some of the top people in this country, Thomas Jefferson suffered from autism, right? You have Albert Einstein suffer from autism. And they even try to place other people into these categories, like a Bill Gates, since he makes so much money. They saying he's so smart, he had to have autism.
And
he
the guy
denies
who
it all
did
the time.
the Pokemon cards.
Yes, actually, the Asian guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah, me too. I forgot.
Actually, he was autistic for real. Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't like the
Yeah,
Asperger. A
He
lot
had
of
autism.
yeah, autism. I stand to be corrected. He had autism, but a lot of these other guys is placed in Asperger syndrome. But the Pokemon gentleman, he's actually does suffer from autism, and they say he's brilliant. Actually, one of the highest guys who got the highest IQ in the world have autism because he's a mathematical genius. So that's just to show that, you know, people, everyday people that you don't know, and autism really don't have a look neither. I want to say that as well.
Please let me.
Yes,
Right,
all right.
elaborate on that.
Right, it could be the person next to you.
The whole,
Yeah.
he doesn't look like he has autism.
Right.
Oh, please stop, because that bothers a lot of parents.
Right.
There is no look to autism.
Yes,
But
yes.
if you don't understand autism, you're thinking it's like Down syndrome.
Yeah, right.
So you're like, he
You're-
doesn't look
No,
like.
but you know it's crazy, and I'm glad you're saying that because he looked like a fucking robber. This person looks like they say a thief. You don't know
Right.
what a thief looks like.
Right.
Nah.
Because they come in welcome.
Now, you don't know it's a thief until they tell you it's a thief.
Yeah.
So until the child say, I'm suffering from autism, then you
Right.
know you have it. But, you know, it don't have no look. But tell me this, where does the puzzle come in? Where does the puzzle piece, what's the symbolism of that? Because you do see that a
So
lot.
that puzzle piece stands for autism. The
Yes.
blue. Well,
The color.
I say the blue.
Okay.
Other families might say red, yellow. Sometimes there's a little fuss over that. But the blue is what I rock with.
Okay. As
Oh,
you can
yes,
see
my-
here.
Every
Yes,
child
and
matters.
my shirt unique because they're different in their own way,
I
but
was
they're
showing them
unique
the
in their
puzzle.
bomb.
I was showing them the puzzle.
Okay, and Kansas, you see them puzzles up in that,
Nah,
that
go ahead.
little
You
globe.
can, go ahead. You can do the plug. You can do the plug.
No, it's fine.
I was just messing with you. I was just showing the puzzle. We have to, you know, I like to lighten the mood on the show
Right.
at times, so I don't want everybody to always
I
be
mean,
so
it's an
serious.
emotional topic.
And it
Right,
does
I'm
get
trying not to be
emotional.
emotional. So
And I'm glad
like,
you are. So sometimes I try to lighten the topic, but
Yeah.
I see that the puzzle and it's blue. And I know you were saying that some people could have different colors. Some people might argue you down about it.
Yeah, everyone just has a
Autism
different-
moms, y'all can probably get a little catty.
Catty.
You know what I mean? You know, my name's Alley Cat. I love everything about the cat. You heard me?
And I'm twin,
You know
man.
what?
The infamous twin. And
So
I just want to repeat this before we go off. Autism
Hold
is
on,
not
hold on.
a disability.
hold on. Did we miss anything?
Yes.
Because you know we're
I
not,
think-
we're not gonna get it all.
Hold on. That's
No,
that's
you're
my
not gonna
thing.
get it all, but
Yeah,
I
of course
just
we
wanna
miss
make
stuff.
a-
Yeah, we
Okay.
miss stuff. We miss tons of
So
stuff.
give me.
But go ahead.
Okay. Don't do that to me. So,
Right.
you know, my thing is, I might be young, but I'm trying to make a
Okay.
change in this world. You know what I mean? I'm not a perfect person. I'm still learning. I'm still learning autism. This is my journey, so I speak on what I know from my son. I'm just really trying to make a difference in any way that I can. And I feel like if we all in this generation just kind of look at things a little different, you know, and just teach our children, you know, some things about people who are different. However, whatever way you need to teach your child, just help them understand, because it's making it harder for parents like us, you know? We can't take our kids to the park sometimes. I mean, I take my son out, but I avoid certain places because of ignorance. And sometimes it's from adults. So I just feel like, have a heart, you know what I mean? Have a heart, stop judging, you know, take time out to read, you know, be aware that there are people that are different from you. And, you know, I don't want to get too into it, but, you know.
So, I mean, I think we all different.
With that,
yeah, definitely.
With all our indifferences, you know what I mean? Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. You ain't got to say thank you. Thank you.
Oh, and my book. I have a children's book coming out. Okay.
Okay, I thought some stuff you want to keep a secret.
No,
Okay,
that ain't a secret.
out.
It's coming out
it's
2/20. Okay. Cam's World. So
February 20th for you people that just
February
don't know
20th.
numbers. You said 220.
I did?
Yeah.
No, 2020. I didn't say
No,
that.
you said 220.
Oh, I didn't mean, no, I didn't mean to say
Okay,
that.
so get it correct. What was
Correct,
it?
go ahead.
2020, listen.
Okay.
I was about to get emotional,
2020.
so I messed the date up. But 2020, I'm not going to say the month,
Okay.
but 2020, Cam's World will be coming out. It's just basically about Cameron in his world, you know, like what he does in his world. But it's also going to help kids understand the different things that he do and why he does it. But it's going to be fun at the same time, but a child will learn from it, and so will an adult. It's going to be fun, but educating as well. I'm looking to bring this book out to really make a huge difference, so people can not only understand my son, but other children as well. And just look out for that book. It's going to make a change.
You can follow her on Cam's World.
Welcome to Cam's World.
Welcome to Cam's World on IG. I mean, I'm just trying to help you.
No,
out with
because
the plug.
Cam's
I
World
want you to
got
give it-
hacked. No, you were right, but it got hacked. So welcome to Cam's World.
Welcome to Cam's World. Unique.
I sell hats,
Every ch-
shirts.
every
These are
child-
not all the hats,
Every
but
child matters.
that's
I
right.
mean, check her page out. You know what I mean? And once again, I'm Ali Kizizak.
And I'm the one infamous shout out to Twin. And
this is what we do. We the culture.
and all we do is important. Yo, good
What?
job.
Thank you. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Good
what
job.
you
Traveling.
doing? Yeah. And what else? Planning, preparation, bespoke
I
performance.
hate that. I hate that.
And we out.
All right, right, injection.